Many of you have joined already, so we can get started. So here, guys, we are almost done with our topic or segment of compute. Do you guys have any questions, any doubt related to anything? Whatever we have covered under compute, any questions, any doubt you have? I mean, if you have skipped the session, I'm not talking about that. Please watch the recording once. Apart from that, where you watch the video, you attended the session, you practice, and still you have some doubt, anything under compute section from day one, whatever we have covered under compute section, because we are done with our compute section. Next week we are going to start our networking, and before that you have to study your own the networking basics. So before that, do you guys have any questions on compute session, so we can cover them here? We discussed availability. First, we discussed virtual machines. We discussed size. We discussed disk, or let me open it here. It will be a good reminder for you. Let me open this virtual machine here. So we discussed logs, we discussed overview, IAM, tags, diagnose, networking is pending, how to connect we discussed, disk we discussed in detail, size we have discussed, advisor we know, availability set, availability zone we have covered, Azure virtual machine scale set we are done with that, identity yet to do, properties done, logs we have covered, auto shutdown we have covered, run command, how to reset password, how to reset password of a virtual machine which you have forgotten, we have covered, how to get user details, we have covered that, right? And what else did we cover here? Reapply, redeploy, we have covered that. So any questions, any doubt do you guys have in these topics? Yes, guys. Yes, no, maybe you're clear with everything, not clear to anything. Yes.
Sohil, can we do logs once again, please?
Logs,
Yeah,
activity logs.
no, logs. Logs.
Can someone please quickly confirm what is logs? Oh, these logs you're talking about?
Log. Yeah, log.
Logs, sorry, my
L.
bad. My got it,
Log.
my bad. My bad. Can someone confirm logs, please? Who is clear with the logs topic? Who can explain logs to her? I'll do that again, but
Can I?
yeah, sure, please. From
Logs
starting,
are
let's say
used
this is
for
an interview question. I am an interviewer and I'm asking you, have you ever worked on Azure Logs? Could you please explain to me what Azure Logs is? How do we use it? What are the benefits? Or what are the methods I have available? Can you tell me a brief answer on Azure Logs? Yes.
logs are used to prevent the accidental deletion.
Okay. My question was bigger than your answer. I'm looking for more. Add more. How do we use it? What are the scope of logs? Let's start again. So who was that? Zareen, is it you who's trying? Hello. I think there's some guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, Sohil.
Yes, Soil.
I think so.
Yes.
It's at her end. Anyone else would like to try?
I can try.
Yes, please. No, Mustaqim, did you attend the session? Logs on logs.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, please do it then.
So basically, lock is a feature we can say to prevent a resource and a resource group to from the accidental deletion. We have two types of locks. First is read only, in which we cannot delete anything, like we cannot do anything, like if it is a lock applied on a resource or a resource group, so we can't update anything, we can't delete the resource group or resource. And the second one is delete lock, in which we cannot delete anything, but we can update something, like we can create something in resource group, we can update, we can make changes, like basically.
Okay, Mustaqim, I have some follow-up questions for you. Can I put a lock on resource group?
Uh, I I think yes, I guess.
You think or you know?
I'm not sure about it, but because it's a
It's okay, it's
Azure
okay.
resource log, Azure
Can
resource
someone
log.
else
So I
answer
think
this question? Can I put a lock on resource group?
Yes, Sohail.
Yes. Okay. Again, back to Mustaqim. Mustaqim, can I put a lock on subscription?
no, actually you cannot.
Can I put a lock on resource?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so guys, we can put locks on resource and resource group, not on subscription. Fine. Mustaqim, another question for you. If I have put a lock, can my colleague who has same level of access, can he delete the lock on from my resource group? He has same level of access. I think I am also owner on subscription. He's also owner on the subscription, but I have put a lock. Can he delete that lock?
No, he can't delete the lock because a lock can be removed by the lock owner itself.
Anyone else who thinks differently?
No, Sohail, your colleague with same access can remove the lock.
Yes, Mustaqim, anyone can remove the lock as far as you have the access.
Okay, okay, okay.
Another
But
question for you. Not for you, for anyone can answer now. I have a follow-up question, guys. I have a lock on one resource group, and I have one Azure contributor, or let's say owner. So is it impacting his rights? Is it overriding his rights, or how is it working? How the lock works? Who can explain that? Is it an additional feature, or is it overriding his owner rights on that resource group? Just because I put a lock there. Did you guys understand the question? I'm asking that I am an owner or on a resource on a subscription. I have a colleague of mine. He's an owner on a resource group. I have put a lock on that resource group. So what about his owner rights on that resource group? Are they gone? Have I overridden them, or are they still there?
No, it will not override.
So he's still owner there, right? So which means
Yes.
he can delete the lock.
Yes, and make the changes or whatever you want to do.
Okay. Another question. It's an open question to anyone. I have a virtual machine and I've put a read-only lock to the resource group where this virtual machine belongs to. Let's say resource group, this AD Connect, this resource group. I have a read-only lock on this one, and I have 5 virtual machines in them. In that, 4 of them are on. The 5th one is off, and I want to start that machine. Can I do that?
No.
Okay. I think that's enough. No, do you have any other questions,
Hello?
Nirmal, or did you get it? Did you understand it now?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you so much. Sohail, your voice is breaking in between.
Is it? Is it for everyone,
Hello?
guys?
No, Sohail.
Nirmal, I think it's your end. You will have to check others are able to hear me properly. Still, if
Okay.
not, let me know if others are also not able to hear me properly. Yes, guys.
I
Any other
understand. Thank you so
questions?
much, Sohail.
Yes. Any other questions? Any other doubt? We are done with compute now. So if you guys have any questions, do let me know. If not, let's have a look at the PowerShell again, and we'll create a machine using PowerShell. I will explain it to you what PowerShell is, how to connect, how to use that, and we'll finish today's session. Then from next week, we are going to start networking. Please make sure that you practice or you read the basics of networking. Before that, please give access to other people, guys. You guys have already access here, except Zoeb and Mustaqim. I will create your resource groups and you will have access then. Here in Rami's subscription, I can give access to one of you, maybe who wants
Yes,
to
Sohail.
practice from this?
Sohail, yeah.
Yes.
Yesterday I was busy, so could not contact Ramesh. I'll
No
do
problem.
it
So
today.
yes, okay, yeah, right. We already have a voluntary. Yes, Suzette. So you will do it, right? Try
Yes.
using that method where you create your security group and add all the users and security group. So I will create your user ID and give you owner access on subscription and global admin. So create your own resource group, create others resource group also, create IDs for also others, and uh, copy their ID and password here. And Nirmal, you can do the same thing, please. Once it is ready,
Yeah,
we'll go ahead and start VMSS practicals, which I'm going to assign today. And who's helping you? Stuti is helping you, right? So create her ID, create my ID and her ID as owner on owner on subscription and global admin. And rest, she will help you to create other IDs. Both of you can start creating IDs and resource group. You guys also
yeah,
try the same method where you create a one security group, add all the users on that security group, and add that security group at the subscription level as a reader. So all of them will by default get reader access, then create their individual resource group, assign them owner access on that. Right. Once that is done, guys, I will assign some homework to you. Please try to complete that. Let's go ahead and see some PowerShell details. Very basic level we are gonna do, nothing much, right? Because no one is going to ask you much about PowerShell. Even if they are asking, you simply tell them that I can use PowerShell. However, I cannot write something from scratch. So what is PowerShell, guys? PowerShell is nothing. It's a command line tool. PowerShell, it's there in Azure also. This is the PowerShell in Azure. Here it is. This is PowerShell in Azure. Using PowerShell, what can I do? I can do anything and everything what I can do directly. I can create a resource group from here, which means I can create a resource group using PowerShell. I can create a user from here. I can create a user from PowerShell. If I can create a machine from here, I can create a, I mean, whatever you can do from GUI, you can do from PowerShell. That is for sure. Same thing applies in operating system also. If you guys remember, I told you. So whatever you can achieve using GUI, you can do the same things using PowerShell. Now, how to connect PowerShell? One method is this: you log into portal and you directly access PowerShell from here. Once you are here, you don't have to log in, you don't have to do anything because you are already logged in. You have authenticated somewhere, you have typed in your user ID and password. So you come to PowerShell and you can start running your scripts, whatever you want to create, as far as you have sufficient level of access. On portal using GUI, if you do not have an access to create a resource group, from PowerShell also you do not have any access. Don't get confused. It's nothing separate, it's nothing different. It's just another method of doing things. So don't get confused that if a user who doesn't have access on the subscription, can he create a resource group here? No, he cannot. He or she cannot only do only those things which they can do using GUI. Is it clear to everyone? What is PowerShell here?
Yes.
Okay. Now you can connect to this PowerShell by after login, or you can connect. You also have one PowerShell in your machine. In your Windows machine, you will see PowerShell. So you can connect from your local PowerShell also. Let's say you don't want to go to browser, you're too lazy, you don't want to go to browser, or maybe you're too smart and you can do everything using PowerShell. So you simply open your PowerShell in your virtual machine and you connect that to your Azure account. Again, I was not able to do that. There's some, I think I'll have to update my PowerShell or some modules like someone pointed yesterday, but my modules are correct. I already checked. Modules are there. I think my PowerShell update is required. So you simply have to use this command and it opens a pop-up where you type in your user ID and password, and then you using this PowerShell, you get connected to your account, to this account. तो उसके बाद आप यहाँ पर command run करो या यहाँ पर करो. It's one and same thing. So we are going to see all commands here because I'm not able to connect. Somehow I'm not able to connect here. So we are going to run all these commands here and check. So once you get connected, what all can you do? We already discussed. You can create machines, you can create storage account, you create networking, whatever you want to do, you can create as far as you have access. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a virtual machine. We saw it yesterday, but today we are going to see it in detail. Okay, so look at the script. I will explain it to you and I'm going to share the script also with you, and I will ask you to create one machine also. But this homework I think will not do in today's session. This we will do once these new subscriptions are about to expire, maybe 1 week before. Why? Because if whenever you run this PowerShell from here, okay, whenever you run this PowerShell from here, what happens? It requires a temporary storage account. And to create a storage account at subscription level, you will require at least contributor level access on the subscription. So people who are owner of the subscription, they can do this practical. For others who are not owner of the subscription, maybe you can request the ownership of the subscription to your owner, or you can wait and at the last in the last week we'll assign the ownership right to everyone, and then you can perform this practical however you like it. Or the another method is watch a YouTube video, or I'm going to send a YouTube video. Connect using your local PowerShell. I'm repeating, don't do this using your office laptop, please. You use it on your personal laptop. If you are on your office laptop, make sure you use this one. But to use this portal one, you need to have subscription level of access to create something new. It could be contributor or owner. And if you're using your personal computer, I will share a video with you. You have to install some modules. I can share those modules also with you. For example, I'll show it to you. First thing, check which PowerShell version are you using. So PowerShell version should be 5 and above. Mine is 5.1. And all these commands are here already in the OneNote, which is being shared with you guys. Okay, so to check the version, this is the command. It should be 5 and above. This is I'm running on my local PowerShell, guys. Then install AZ modules. So this is the this is how you install modules. Install AZ module. We just do this. In my case, I have already installed it. I'm still getting some error. I don't know why. Maybe you can try this. Okay, to do this, you will have to open your administrator, or open your PowerShell in administrator mode. So right click, run as administrator. This is your local PowerShell, guys. I hope you guys are not getting confused. Okay, this is PowerShell, which you will find in your computer. This is here. I have created a shortcut. If you don't find it here, click on start button, search for PowerShell, right click, run as administrator. Same thing I did from here, just because I've created a shortcut. But you can go to whichever windows you have. You can go here, look for PowerShell, run as administrator. First thing you'll have to check is whether your window or operating system it's have the supported version of PowerShell or not. So it is 5.1, which is above the 5.1. Let me do one thing. Let me open this on one of the virtual machines which I have in Azure. Let's see if that works. Maybe that has the latest PowerShell ID and everything, and it will be helpful for me. So you can run it from anywhere, from your machine, from your laptop. Even you can do it from your office laptop, but I'm not suggesting that, just for your to avoid your issues with your local IT. You can create a virtual machine on Azure and you can run it there also. Let's say if someone is using very old operating system, Windows 7, or and if they don't have proper PowerShell version, create your virtual machine on Azure and practice it via that machine. So first thing, open PowerShell and then check the PowerShell version. In this one also, it's 5.1, suitable for me. Then I will install some modules. These are the modules. All commands are there given. I'm installing some modules, guys. Yes, you have a question? And see, you get this, press yes or A, press A here. Type A and hit enter. You just have to read it. It clearly says if you want to go ahead with installation, either type A or Y. So it will start installing. Look at this. Those who are installing the modules. You don't have to understand what modules are, etc. I'm just preparing something for you. Get this prepared and practice PowerShell for one machine, and that should be enough for you. That's all. Yes, someone raised the hand. Do you have any question? Feel free to mute and ask. Fateh, you raised your hand. I see you are unmuted. But if you're speaking, I'm not able to hear you. Guys, can you hear me? Rest of you?
Yeah.
Yes, Sohail.
Okay, so Fateh, I think you'll have to check your mic once. We are not able to hear you. At least I'm not able to hear you. Anyone else who's able to hear her?
No.
No.
Okay. Okay, guys, so you have to install these two modules here. These two commands you have to run on the virtual machine which you will create, or on your local laptop where you have PowerShell. I'm doing it without explanation because you just have to read and you will get this is like installation wizard where you click next, type yes, type no, something like that. Hence I'm not explaining it, and you don't even have to understand all this. But you need to know which modules to be installed. So check your PowerShell version. Use this is the command. Then install the module. This is first command. This is second command. This is how you install the module. It is installing the module. After this, run this command. You don't have to worry what all these commands are. How do we know? When will we get? You don't have to worry. In a live environment where you will be working, you will already get all of this. Okay, see, it is installing the modules. Then we will run this set a remote execution command and we'll try to connect it. Meanwhile, I'll just show you one command. Let's say if I have to check all the VMs or all the resource group which I have in my subscription. So see, get AZ VM, that's a simple command I can run. And I should get a list of all the VMs which are there in this subscription. What does it mean? If I'm getting nothing, it means I do not have any virtual machine here. Instead of virtual machine, if I just want to type resource group, let's do that. In this subscription, how many resource groups do I have? Though we have already got that answer there. Look at this. These many resource groups I have. Suhail resource group, Rahul resource group. Where is it? It's in East US. It is in East US. Fatena's resource group. It is in East US. Shweta, it is in East US. Something like this. So whatever you can do using GUI, you can achieve using PowerShell also. It's easy. Once it is in PowerShell, you can copy, you can paste, you can export it. It becomes very easy. So that is what we're trying to. I'm trying to teach you here that using PowerShells, all these things you can do. You can create machines also. So this has been done. Let me run this policy. So this command, you don't have to worry why are we running these commands. It's exactly क्या होता है backend में. You don't have to worry. Just ignore them. Okay. Just run them so you will have at least an environment. The command which you need to learn or which you need to know, it's connect AZ account. This is they ask sometimes that okay, you have worked on PowerShell. How do you connect to your virtual machine? How do you connect to your portal using your PowerShell? So there are two methods. One is you log into portal and you use this PowerShell, and other one is you from your computer you use this command connect AZ account, and I hope it works here. And it should open a pop-up or a browser. Look at this. Here you will type your user ID and password. So if I type my user ID here, and my password. Now whatever I do here on this PowerShell, guys, it will get applied here. So let's say that I'll give you this homework also. Let's not wait. You create your virtual machine, install your own PowerShell, and on your virtual machine follow these processes and you should get connected. Ultimately you will see something like this. Okay, and now you can do whatever you want here. So now let's say if I want to create a virtual machine here, so I can run this script. This is the script I'm going to run. I can run this script here in this PowerShell and I will see my virtual machine being created here. Now look at see, do I have any virtual machine in this one as of now? No. So I can create a virtual machine from here, or the best way, I will go ahead here and I will use my own PowerShell window, which is there in my laptop. In our case, we are using virtual machine. So I'm gonna copy and paste the same script. And I'm creating this machine. What does it say? A new AZVM, it's okay. Resource group name. I'm creating a new resource group named my resource group. I'm creating a new VM. Okay. I'm creating it in East US and virtual network, etc. We'll see later. I'm opening the port 803389. Let's say if I want 443 also, simply I'll give a comma and add this. And I hit enter. And now what is it asking? It is asking the username, that what username do you want to give that to that machine and what password? Why? Because without username and without password, a machine cannot be created. Here, because you have not selected any size in your script, so it is going to create a by default size, which is standard D2VS. If you want to give size, we can add a parameter here, but that's okay. You can create it without size. We just have to learn the approach. Later on, you're gonna get scripts, everything detail and big scripts you will get. And have we selected any virtual machines operating system? In the script, do you see any operating system?
No.
No,
Any extra disk?
no.
Nothing. So it will create everything, it will take by default. Now if I come to this subscription, look at this. I have my VM. It created a new resource group. Well, VM is still being creating, I guess. VM, and this is the size. I did not mention anything whether I don't want public IP, but I think script had a public IP thing. Yes, public IP was there. Hence, I got a public IP. I did not mention any operating system, so by default, I got Windows. They could have given Linux also, but ultimately it's Microsoft's product, so they will promote their. They are giving me 2016. I did not mention anything. Whatever size, I did not mention anything. Disk, I will have basic disk because I did not mention anything extra, but everything can be achieved. If you want extra disk, you can achieve that. We're not going to learn PowerShell here in detail, but I'm just trying to show you the concept, the approach. So is it clear, guys, that how you can create it and how can you can delete these details? Similarly, like I created, I can delete it also. Now my question is to you. Now I'm being very specific. Consider your accesses and everything. This is not a generic question. My question is to you. If I give you this script, will it work as it is, or do you have to do some modification? Whatever level of access do you have, answer accordingly. On your subscription, whichever has expired, let's say that subscription was valid as of now. So will you be able to create this machine as it is with this command, this script, or will you have to make some changes?
No, we cannot,
We
Who's
have
that?
to change something.
because
Mustaqim.
we have
Yes.
reader access on subscription level. We cannot create new resource group.
So what will you do here in this case?
So we have to modify it to existing resource group, which is like we have owner access on.
Perfect. So what you guys have to do here, let's say, if I do not have access to create a new resource group, fine. I will create a machine in my resource group. First thing, but I just have to make sure that I have a resource group with this name. Yes, I have. And let's create it in Rahul's resource group. Now, if you run this script with Rahul's resource group, will it work?
No.
You as in
No.
anyone other than
No.
Rahul, if you run, no, because you do not
No.
have access. If
No.
if I run this, will it work?
Yes.
Yes. Why?
It's
Because I
because you
have
have owner access.
owner access on subscription level. It is inheriting. So by default, I have owner access on Rahul's this one also. VM. I'm saying this is very sad name. What are you doing? My VM by my VM. I don't want to do that. Okay. So I'm changing the name. East US. No, I want it in East US too. Fine. Virtual network. Why are we calling my VNet? My VNet. Let's call it something like this. So these are the way you can change some details. Let's try creating it. And I'm saying I don't want to take RDP also to this machine. It's okay. So let's try creating it again. It is asking user ID and password by default, because that is something which we have not given, and you will never see that in script. No one wants to write their user ID and password in the script because script maybe किसी के हाथ लग जाए कुछ हो जाए, so they never write. And even if it is there, you'll never ever see in the clear words. Hidden में होगा कहीं तो भी, मास्क होगा या हिडन में होगा किसी और स्ट्रिंग के अंदर उसको ये कर देते हैं वो लोग. You'll never see in a script, you'll never see user ID and password. User ID शायद कभी कभार आ जाए, that too if it is poorly written, otherwise you won't see it. So now we are creating another machine, but where is it going now this time? This is going in Rahul's resource group. Look at this. These are the components which get created. So before a virtual machine is being created, these components are being created, and we'll see a virtual machine in some time. Look at this. The virtual machine is ready. So this is how you create. Now when I give you some assignment, even if I have not written here something, make sure you have to type your own resource group name. Virtual machine name, take whatever you want. Location, I'll share it with you, or take it whatever you want. Let's try some different locations this time. Don't just stick to East US and East US 2. Okay, let's try the other locations also. Virtual network name, you can keep it whatever you want because we have not covered that topic yet. Let's keep it with your name, whatever name you want to keep, whatever machine name you are keeping. For example, let's say I said UT-Kloud, so UT-Kloud VNet, something like that. Ports, I'm sure you understood this well. So no matter whether you type comma and how many keep on doing this, it's okay. It is FTP, SSH, etc. You can keep on doing that. So this is how you can create a virtual machine using your PowerShell. People who are owner level access, they can use this PowerShell also, but people who do not have owner level of access, you guys will have to use your own PowerShell. Create a machine, practice from that, create another machine. Create one machine in your resource group, log into that machine, use the PowerShell, deploy all these resources, and using that PowerShell, create another machine. If you have your laptop sufficient enough, which can run all these script and everything, do it directly from your laptop. You don't have to create a virtual machine then. I'm asking to create a machine to those people who do not have a new machine, or people who are working from office laptop. Maybe they can create a virtual machine and then practice it via virtual machine. Yes, guys, is it clear to everyone? Any doubt anyone has?
First, we
Yes,
have to install models, right?
modules. Yes, I'm gonna
Yeah,
share that
sorry.
with you. I'm gonna share that with you. In what
Actually,
order
I'm
you
just
have to do?
trying. So,
Yes,
yeah,
you can
I'm
pick it
just
up from here.
checking. Yeah.
It's there. OneNote is shared with you guys. But understand, these are the commands. Okay, this should have 5. These are just comment. This is the command. This is the command. This whole is command, and that's complete. This is command, and then you run for connect, and after this you know what to do. Once you're connected, you simply have to run this command. This is a script. And guys, I will give you virtual machine scale set task with very specific inputs. Okay, I'm expecting you to read it properly and then create it. It should not happen that I have asked you to keep the threshold 50 and you are just leaving it whatever the default is. So if I'm giving you some threshold, make sure you follow them properly. Please do that. Yes, guys, any other questions anyone has? We have 3 minutes left. We can have few questions and then we can stop this session for today. So this week you will have enough homework: virtual machine scale set, creating virtual machine using PowerShell. People who are responsible for creating subscription, please do that as soon as possible so others can work. And once this is done, try to finish this in a day or two, today and tomorrow, so you can spend the remaining time on networking studies, because unless you do that, there's no point I conduct next session. Right, please finish your studies on network. I'm going to share some videos, some links for networking. You can follow your own videos also, whatever you want, do that, but clear your networking basics. Get those basics cleared. We still have 2 minutes left. Anyone has any questions, please let me know.
So Sohail, We just have two methods to create virtual machine, right? For one is from portal and another one is from PowerShell.
No, we have many methods. You can do it using Terraform also. So if you want to segregate them in two methods, you can call it, one is using GUI, one is using command line. Under command line, everything will come. PowerShell will come, Bash will come, Terraform will come, everything will come. So these are the
Okay.
two major categories, but we can't just call it PowerShell, because if you look here, just next to this PowerShell, we have Bash also. This is another method, but we are not discussing Bash. We are not learning Bash, but methods are there. So saying that there are only two methods, one is GUI and one is PowerShell, will be technically incorrect. But then what about Bash? This is also a method. It's a third method. What about Terraform? Though ultimately it is using PowerShell somewhere here and there. So better answer is one is using GUI. The moment you say GUI, it's evident, it is implied that you're talking about portal, graphical user interface portal, and the other one is command line. In command line, everything is covered. PowerShell, Bash, Terraform, whatever it is, everything is covered.
Okay.
Yes, guys. Any other questions you have?
सोहेल, नेटवर्किंग में जो आईपी एड्रेस है प्राइवेट और पब्लिक के, वो रेंजेस हमें याद रखना पड़ेगा क्या?
नहीं नहीं, don't worry. Just understand them. याद कुछ भी नहीं रखना है.
अच्छा अच्छा.
Just make sure that you understand them well. Again, people who have reader level of access on subscription, you guys can also run this command. All these get command, इनको सब reader level का access चाहिए. So you can check how many VMs are there, how many resource groups are there. Okay, so you make sure you check all this and make sure you follow this and create this properly. Let me see if I can delete the resource group using PowerShell command, and then we are done for the day. Less than a minute is left. I will upload the recording in some time. So delete, I just have to run a command which says remove your resource group, and this is the resource group which I had created, and it will be deleted in some time. That resource group, here it is. We don't have time now. After a minute, if I'll see, this will be gone. Okay guys, then see you next week. Please make sure you complete your assignments and your studies. See you guys next week then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.